All right, welcome everyone to the latest edition of the Matrix 501 class. This class used to be the Matrix 701. It is now the Matrix 501, where we go into the MLS system, into IMAP and Remind, and try to find as much information as we can that is pertinent to global real estate. So today's main focus is going into the MLS system, where we want to show you where you could find where we have a lot of out-of-country buyers, specifically those foreign nationals, the areas that they're purchasing. And we also want to make sure that we show you guys where we have a concentration of out-of-state buyers and where they're purchasing. The main goal today is to show you where the data is located. That way, if you ever want to maybe rework some of your marketing, for example, maybe on Facebook, realtor.com, Zillow, etc. Of course, those websites, they always ask you for the areas that you serve. Now, we most of the time input the zip codes where we work or where we live, and we're not really looking at where we have a lot of these buyers where they're purchasing. What I want to make sure that you guys do is to plug in those zip codes, maybe rework some of those marketing programs that you may be using for free or maybe paid, so that you might be able to attract buyers probably just a little bit more efficiently. This data is also going to tell us exactly where we have a lot of current homeowners in South Florida, where we're kind of seeing a mass exodus where they're leaving. And then what we could do with those zip codes would be to go into a service by the name of Remind. Once we figure out these areas where we have a lot of out-of-state buyers, where they're purchasing, it is also a key indication where we have a lot of current Florida owners that might leave in the future. So what you may want to do with that information is take those zip codes. You can use a form of AI by the name of predictive analytics. What you're going to be able to do is take those zip codes, plug that into Remind, and then what Remind will do is scan the area and then find those future homeowners that might sell their property within the next year. So again, we're going to mainly do research today, finding those out-of-country buyers, those foreign nationals, and of course those out-of-state buyers. I want to show you that you can get this data in the MLS platform, and I also want to show you guys an alternative way of finding this information using IMAP. IMAP is going to ultimately likely give us a larger picture of the concentration of these buyers. Reason being is IMAP pulls data directly from county record. All right, before we get started and jump into the MLS platforms, I first want to make sure that I tell you that we have some great information on the Miami Realtors website in the global section. You can get there by going to miamirealtors.com/global or by just simply clicking the global icon at the top of our website. All right, when you're there, on the right side of the page, you do have information for the Global NYPN Global Membership application. Now, this is going to be updated very soon, and it's mainly a membership for those of you that are not a member of the Miami Association of Realtors. This type of program is for those out-of-state realtors or realtor associates or even brokers that want to have access to non-MLS products within the Miami Gateway. So we're going to skip that for now. What I wanted to show you here on the left side of the page is we have, as of December 2023, we have the international home buyer transactions. This document is packed with a wealth of information, letting you know exactly where we have a lot of those foreign nationals and how much dollar volume that is being applied towards real estate here in the South Florida area. All right, we're going to go ahead and give that a click. All right, when you click on it, it's going to take you straight into the 2023 profile of international home buyer transactions. If we scroll down a little bit, A lot of great information on that first page, but this is what I wanted to show you, which is the third page, International Homebuyer Transactions of Miami members during August 22nd through July 2023. So again, this is data that is available in the MLS. I'm going to show you how we can actually pull and find this information and, of course, create a statistical report. Maybe you want to have this as a part of a presentation in order to attract that foreign national buyer and then show them how much information you have access to when it comes to global real estate. So over here in the top left corner, we have the Miami foreign buyer stats. Foreign buyers make up $5.1 billion dollars in sales volume. 18% of foreign buyers share to Miami dollar sales volume, and then 67% of the fraction of foreign buyers who reside abroad, meaning 67% are purchasing from outside of the United States. Foreign buyer median purchase price, which is going to be there in the middle of the market, is $482,700, and they make up 66% of share of all cash purchases in the South Florida area. On the right side of the page, we have the top Miami foreign buyers. Right now, according to this document, I want to say the data has changed. We're going to look at most recent information. It's letting us know when it comes to Miami for foreign buyers, the number one country as of, again, December 2023 is Colombia. They make up 15%. Number 2 is Argentina. I'm going to say Lionel Messi on that one. I'm a Messi guy. Number 3 is Brazil. Number 4 is Venezuela. And then number 5 is Canada. All right, moving down, we have the top characteristics also available within this document, letting us know that 71% of foreign buyers who purchased a property for vacation, rental, or sometimes both. That is something to keep in mind when you are working with a foreign national. Sometimes they may not want to purchase. You may want to let them know that you can go into the MLS and then maybe search for a rental where there might be an option to lease and then maybe purchase a little bit farther down the road. That is most definitely an option, and that is something that foreign nationals do like. Further down it says 56% of foreign buyers who purchased specifically a condominium. All right, moving down, we have 59% of cost of property, condominium fees, could not buy a property, and insurance as a percentage of all reasons why foreign buyers decided not to purchase a property. So of the foreign buyers, looks like 59% of them, they kind of hesitated because of those high condo association fees, due to likely assessments, costs of current property in the local market. We are currently still in that seller's market. All right, and these are currently the reasons stopping some of those foreign buyers from purchasing. Further down on the page, we have the Miami market, largest U.S. foreign buyer market, and we have it broke down year by year, located right here. All right, again, a lot of great information to go over within this document. Again, where was this located? It's in the Miami website, miamirealtors.com, in the global section. And then we have access to the 2023 International Homebuyer Transaction document located right here. Now, that is, again, as of 2023. I wanted to show you, if you scroll down a little bit on this page, you do have access in the section Global Links, the International Research and Resources section. Now, this information is live. All right, and it's letting us know the current top 10 rankings at this time. Right now, which countries are driving demand in each market, specifically looking at the South Florida area. Number 1 is Canada at this time. Number 2, Argentina. 3 is United Kingdom. 4, Brazil. 5, Colombia. 6 is Mexico. Number 7 is Germany, Spain, Chile, and France. Now, you can share this report. There is a share button located in the bottom right corner if you do want to share this information. Again, where was this located? You can get here in the global page and simply clicking on the International Research and Resources section. All right, we're going to scroll back up a little bit, and I want to go over some additional information on the top of the page. Right here, we have access to the global partners. This is a great landing page if you ever have, for example, a local buyer that wants to purchase in one of these countries. What you can go ahead and do is refer them to any of the corresponding associations or federations. And then from there, you can find a local agent in that area and possibly receive a referral. All right. All right, from there, we're going to go back. The next section I want to show you real quick is the Global Property Exchange. Now, these specific associations located here, for example, TREB, Canada, Toronto, Socovi, Brazil, HR, Greece, Overseas Property Alliance, Hong Kong, Jerusalem Chamber of Real Estate, and ACOBIR, Panama. What this is this is the Global Property Exchange. What that means is they do feature our South Florida listings on their respective association pages. They either have a direct feed set up or they do have a link on their page where their local buyers can search and find property located down here in South Florida. All right, we're going to go back. All right, from there, we also have 2022's International Home Buyer Transactions data sheet. I also want to make sure that you guys are aware that the National Association of Realtors website is also available in Spanish. And we also have a fantastic marketing piece referred to as the Referral Network. We have that available for our JTHS members, Miami members, and of course members located in the Broward area. What this will allow you to do is let your seller know all of the primary websites that we do send your listings to. And it's co-brandable. You do have the ability to download this document and of course put your business card here in the top right corner. All right, further down, and if you did not know already, the program that we use to send your listings to these online websites is listhub.com. Again, that's listhub.com. All you have to do is register an account with ListHub and you will be able to see analytics whenever you are a listing agent, and it's going to tell you exactly what websites are getting the most traction, and you can submit that report from listhub.com directly to your customer so they can see all of that wealth of information. All right. Again, that was the Referral Network located here, and we have a lot of great Miami Global resources that were presented at our Miami Global Congress, located right there. All right, we're going to keep going without further ado. We're going to click on the home page, and then from there, we're going to go directly into the Miami Gateway and sign in. All right, once you're there, we're going to go directly into CoreLogic Matrix. And before we start doing research, finding those foreign nationals where they're purchasing in South Florida and those out-of-state buyers, I first want to introduce to you a brand new search option when it comes to finding out-of-state properties and also international listings that are available within Matrix. In order to find this, you're going to go to search, move down to cross property, then that's going to give you access to the global regional area search. And you can also find the global regional area search in the drop down menu of the search page. All right, we're going to go ahead and give that a click. I do want to make sure that I mention that you have the ability to search for international property using either global region or country. And you can also find listings outside of South Florida that are available in the United States using U.S. regions. For example, you can search in the Midwest area, Northeast, Southeast, Southwest, USA West. However, I want to make sure that I draw a distinction. If you do decide, for example, to search for property available maybe in New York, California, Washington, using the Matrix platform, what this means is that you're not going to see those listings from New York that were inputted by agents that belong to associations in New York, Washington, California, etc. The listings that you're going to find in this section are going to be listings entered by agents that belong to South Florida associations in specific. So I want to make sure I draw that distinction. Now, if you want a larger list of property that's available, for example, in New York, Washington State, again, anywhere in the United States, in your dashboard, you have access to a service by the name of realtor.com professional search. This system is nationwide, and there is a lot of associations that do send their listings directly into this platform. You're going to be able to see a lot more listings using this option when searching outside of South Florida. Another thing I want to make sure that I mention, if you do want to search for listings that are available maybe in Orlando, the Tampa area, you would want to use a system by the name of MLS Advantage located here in the bottom portion. Now, there's going to be some areas that may not syndicate listings directly to MLS Advantage, such as the Keys down south, a lot of those associations in Monroe. You won't find them here in MLS Advantage, but you will find a lot of those associations that you may not locate in MLS Advantage. You will find them here in the professional search platform. So I want to make sure I give you guys a couple of different options when you're searching for property outside of South Florida. All right, we're going to go back into Matrix. And I want to go ahead and show you guys how you can set up a fantastic global regional area grid if you do decide to search. All right, so our main takeaway in this section is searching for those international properties. Now, before we get started, I always like to mention that whenever you go into any one of these search categories, you have the ability to simply select what you want and then set that up as your default. Most of us just want to search for property that is under active status. Sometimes we don't want to search for something that is not yet available for showings, such as coming soon. And sometimes we don't want to search for something that is currently under contract when we have a serious buyer. So you can unselect coming soon and active with contract. You can visit the settings menu in the top right corner. You can give that a click and then click on set current selected search criteria as my starting default. What that will do is the next time that you come into the global regional area search section, you will just have active status selected. Now, this does not update all of the other categories. You'll need to visit each one of these menus into each one of these sections and then make this change if this is something that you're interested in. Now, what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to act like we're looking for single family homes abroad. We're going to go ahead and jump into the global regional section, and I want to show you that you can search by region. We do have Canada, Caribbean Islands, Mexico, Central America, South America, Asia, Eastern, Southeastern, Southern, Western, Australia, Europe, Eastern, Southern, Western, South Africa, Africa Other, and then the South Pacific Islands. Again, that's one way to search. You also have the ability to come down to country, and then you can type in the name of the country that you want. So for example, I'm going to put in Argentina. I'm going to click on it. You can also enter the next one for wanting to search multiple countries. Or if you want to do it a little bit differently, you have access to these two squares. That's going to take you to this menu, and then you can search through the available 274 countries built in the system and select exactly what you want from there. All right, so I went ahead and selected a couple of different countries so that we can sample some of the data in the MLS system. Another thing I want to make sure that I mention that's brand new to the search is you can search also by country city. If you do want to search within the U.S. area, you can also search using U.S. city as well. All right, so from there, what we're going to go ahead and do is set you guys up with success. That way you have a beautiful global regional grid. We're going to click on results. All right, from there, we do like normal. We get the listing numbers. We get the area that they're located. Again, these are international listings. So the international area code when entering in the MLS is going to be 5990. We also get the address of the properties, the complex names if there are within a subdivision. We get that information, the list price, the bedrooms and bathrooms, the square footage, as well as the year that they were built, and of course access to information when it comes to garage spaces and if they are attached to other units or not. But let's go ahead and customize this so we see a little bit more information. Again, we have access to the address, but we can't exactly see what countries that these property are located. So let's add that. We're going to go over to address. We're going to move our mouse over into the open space. We're going to click. We're going to go down to insert column. And then from there, under search, we're going to type in just simply country. Once we type that, we're going to go directly into clicking on country from there. That way we can see exactly the country where these listings are located. All right, from there, let's add a little bit of more information. Okay, what was I going to do? All right, from there, if you want, you can click on country at the top of your index, at the top of the page. What that will do is sort the listings based on country. As you can see, once the arrow is pointing down, it will show them in alphabetical order. If we click on country again, it will put them in reverse order, showing from Z to A, showing Spain at the very top. All right, excellent, excellent. Just wanted to show you guys that you have the ability to customize your grid. If you do want to go ahead and save the information where you can see the country where these properties are located, just simply go over here where you see the manage display, give that a click, and then save that display directly. So we're going to go ahead and put in something like international grid. And then from there, I'm going to click on save as a copy. That way, once you come back into the global regional search, you can pull up your international grid, and then from there, see the exact country where these properties are located. All right, another thing that I want to make sure that I mention that is available in the Matrix platform and located here in the top right corner. Now, if you don't see Intra Matrix at the top, it may be hidden. Your page might say something like more. Click on more. That's going to give you access to the section Intra Matrix. And then you're going to see that there is some additional associations that you can look up listings in. For example, you have access to Georgia listings, the FMLS Georgia area. We have access to Omni Mexico, tons of Mexico listings in there. What I love about the Omni Mexico section is whenever you're searching, it will give you the purchase price in peso and also in US dollar. All right, further down, we also have access to the CRMLS for California and RE Colorado as well. All right, so what is advantageous potentially about this is that, for example, if you ever have a Georgia buyer, you can search for listings in there and potentially receive a referral. All right, perfect. All right, so we're going to keep going. Again, where was this? This is under search, and it was recently launched about a year ago. We have access now to the global regional area search. All right, we're going to keep going. We're going to go ahead and switch out of the global regional area search. We're going to go into a section that maybe you haven't jumped into by the name of cross property. All right, I went ahead and clicked on cross property, and I do want to make sure I explain what this menu does. Cross property will allow you to search all of the categories, including residential and commercial, at the very same time. You're probably thinking to yourself, why would I do that? You would come into cross property, for example, whenever you have a buyer that may go online and then they start searching for property, right? They may say something like, I think it might have been a condo or a condo townhouse. I'm not sure. What you can do, of course, is come into the section cross property, enter the address of the property, and guarantee that you will find it if it's listed in the MLS. All right, so we're going to keep going. What we're going to go ahead and do is switch over to start performing some research in the cross property section. First thing that we're going to do is research for those out of state buyers. That way we can figure out exactly the zip codes where they are purchasing. We're going to come over to status. We're going to unselect active. We're going to unselect coming soon and active with contract. All right, we're going to unselect these statuses. We're going to go down to closed, and we're going to go back at least a minimum of a year. This is going to give us all of the recorded sales going back a year. From there, let's select a couple of property types. We're going to look at single family, condo, co-op, villa, townhomes. Let's also look at income producing units such as duplexes, triplexes, and quadplexes using the multifamily income option. All right, for this first set of data, let's go ahead and click on Miami-Dade. And then what unlocks the option to search is by adding the following field, buyer's state. In order to add this field, you're going to come over to the section right here where it says additional fields and then click on add. All right. So what is super easy about the fields we're going to add to do this search, they all have one thing in common when we look them up. They have the word buyer. We're going to go under search. We're going to type in buyer. And then from there, we're going to add the field buyer's state. Click on add. And once you see it here on the right side of the page, you are good to go. It's going to stay there. There's no confirm button. If you do want to ever remove it in the future, you would simply click on whatever you want and then click on remove. All right, from there, I'm going to click back. We're going to go down and then we're going to sample some buyer's states so that we can aggregate and find exactly where we have a lot of buyers. That way we can research and find exactly where they're purchasing. All right, so we're going to go ahead and select, for example, California. Let's go ahead and select also Colorado, Connecticut, Delaware. We're going to select also District of Columbia, Georgia, Illinois. Let's move down a little bit. Let's do Indiana. Let's also do Maine, Maryland, Massachusetts, Michigan, pretty much almost anywhere where it's cold. I'm just kidding. Michigan, Minnesota. We're going to keep going. We're going to also select Missouri. We're going to also select New Hampshire, New Jersey, New York. Let's also select Ohio, Oregon, Pennsylvania, Rhode Island, Puerto Rico. We're going to keep going down. We're also going to select Texas. Texas has a lot of purchasers. Let's also do, moving down, we're going to do Washington, West Virginia, Wisconsin as well, giving us access to a total of 793 recorded sales, specifically in the Miami-Dade County area, going back a year. Now, we can change that date if we wanted. We can go back, for example, maybe let's do 440 days. That's going to give us access to even more sales that are being recorded within the MLS system. All right, now there's a couple of different ways that you can do this research. For those of you that are data oriented, you want to see how you can get the information and then put that into a spreadsheet. The easiest way to do so is by clicking on the results button at the bottom of the page. All right, now we do know that these are indeed closed transactions going back 440 days, but we can't exactly see where they're purchasing. So let's add that data. Let's go over to address. Let's click, go down to insert column, under search. Let's enter city name. Click on city name, click on apply. That way we can see exactly the cities where we have a concentration of these out-of-state buyers. All right. From there, again, let's add as much detail as we can. Let's also include the state where they are coming from. I would suggest adding that field over here in the top left corner where you see ML number. Move your mouse into the open space. From there, go down to insert column, under search. And as I promised, these fields that we're using today, they have one thing in common. They all have the word buyer in them. So we're going to type in buyer into the search, And then from there, we're going to add the buyer's state. We're going to click on it. It's going to turn blue. From there, I'm going to click on apply. That way we can see exactly the states where they're coming from. We're going to move over to ML number. We're going to click. We're going to go down to insert column. Under search, we can also potentially see the zip code where they're coming from. So we're going to type in the word buyer. That's going to give us access to the buyer's zip code. And then from there, I'm going to click on apply. All right, so for example, we do have number 2. This was purchased, this property is located in Collins Avenue in Miami Beach. The purchaser did come from California, specifically from the zip code 94010. All right, again, this is if the information is entered into the MLS when it comes to the buyer's zip code. A lot of great information that we can get from that. All right, again, what I would suggest that you do so that you can kind of navigate the data just a little bit easier is by adding the zip code of where these properties were purchased. So we're going to go down to insert column right next to city. Under search, I'm going to type in zip code. That way we can click on zip code here and then click on apply. Again, you can sort this data how you want. If you want to sort it by city, you can do so by clicking city. It's going to line up everything based on city. So for example, when the arrow points down, it's going to put it from A to Z. It's going to show us the purchasers in the Aventura area, including the state, exactly where they're coming from. So for example, in Aventura, right here, we have a couple of purchasers. We have one from Massachusetts, New York, New Jersey, Illinois, Georgia. Moving down, we have Colorado, Rhode Island, New York, California, all of those coastal states, it looks like, with Georgia also in the mix. All of this great wealth of information if you do sort by city. Another way that you could sort is, of course, also by, for example, zip code as well. That will put everything in order by zip code, and then you can also see the information if that is your preference as well. All right, so for my data folks out there, if you do want to save this as an Excel spreadsheet, easiest way to do so is by changing your count per page. It's only showing us 25. You can go over to the per page section, change that to 100 per page. And then from there, if you do want to export the information, be sure to hit that square in the top left corner. If you want to save this as a spreadsheet, you'll need to go through each page. You would need to go to page 2, click the square in the top left corner, all the way through page 11. Once you have them all selected, from there, before you click on export, what you want to do is save this information as a display. All right, we're going to go ahead and do that. We're going to go over to the pen and paper, give that a click, and then save the display. That way we can save the display with a name that we will remember the next time we do this research. I'm just going to simply name it the out of state buyer grid. From there, I'm going to click on save as a copy. And then from there, we can click on export at the bottom. It now has the export file format as being the out of state buyer grid. I can click on export, go over to the top right corner, and then have access to this CSV. I'm going to go ahead and open it up now. All right, that way we can see the buyer zip code, buyer state, and then look at that information directly through a spreadsheet. All right, now that is for my data-driven folks. If you don't want to have access to a CSV, maybe you're more of a visual person like me. Another great way of doing this research is by clicking back to results and then simply going into the map. So I'm going to click on map. All right, by clicking on map, we can see once we click on map, we can see the concentration of the sales directly from the map view. All right, from there, what I would do is go to the top where you see these 3 stacked papers. What you would want to do is add the option where we can see the zip code boundary as we do this research. Now you're going to notice it's not letting me click on zip code. It's telling me in red to zoom in. So I'm going to hit the plus sign. I'm going to click it again. From there, I'm going to go under layers, and then from there, I can add the zip code boundary, and I can see these sales as they have been recorded in the MLS via the map view. Now, there's a couple of different views to see this information. You do have a map view, like so, a satellite view as well, depending on your preference. All right, so we're going to do this using the map view. That way it's a little bit easier. That way we can see the blue houses just a little bit clearer. And I want to show you exactly where these sales are happening. So for example, I first landed in the Doral area towards the east. We have a concentration of out-of-state buyers, specifically in the zip code of 33178, located here next to Northwest 79th Avenue and just south of should be 58th Street. All right, we can continue to move around. I'm going to hit that minus sign. We're going to jump around a little bit. We, of course, have this area over here by Northwest 74th Street where we have a concentration of sales. We're going to hit that minus sign. We're going to continue to look around a little bit. All right, another area that is booming, according to the data, in Miami is, of course, located here in the 33162 area and the 33179 area. We're going to hit the minus sign, move out a little bit. All right, we're going to keep moving around. We're going to keep moving down towards the southern part of Miami. I do want to make sure that I mention that we do have a lot of new construction that is happening. The further south that you go into Miami, more towards the Homestead area, we do have a concentration of buyers, specifically in the zip code of 33157. We also have the ability to scroll down a little bit and see recorded sales. We can move down a little bit and also see a lot of purchases that are happening in the 33032 area, 33033. Again, a lot of great information that this will provide us. Again, sometimes it will show us maybe some of those non-common areas that we would think of where we have a lot of those out-of-state buyers and where they're purchasing. All right, for example, let's move up a little bit. Let's move over into the Miami beach area. Let's zoom in a little bit. We have a concentration of sales happening in the 33133 area, of course, 33146. Let's move up. Let's wait for the map. Sometimes the map can lag a little bit. We also have in the area of 33142, a lot of purchases happening there. And right here in Coral Gables, also a lot of out-of-state buyers purchasing in the zip code of 33134. All right, from there, I am going to click on criteria. That's going to take me right back where I was. What we can also do is change the information that we're looking at. We can unselect Miami-Dade, jump into Broward County, and we do have, within the past 440 days, 703 recorded transactions that have been reported, where we do have out-of-state buyers purchasing in the Broward County area. All right, from there, we're going to go back into the map. We're going to move up. We're going to hit that minus sign. All right, and we're going to conduct some research in the Broward area. Now, right here in the area of 33021, humongous concentration of purchases, especially over here towards the Emerald Hills area, all the way down to Hollywood Hills. What I do want to make sure I mention, whenever we see numbers, for example, 3, 2, it's letting me know that there's a concentration of sales happening specifically in either the community, this community, or specifically within this building. So if I click on it, if I click on the number 3, that's going to let me know that we have a concentration of sales happening right there in this key area. All right, we're going to zoom out a little bit, hit the minus sign. We're going to move around. We're going to be patient with the map. And then here we go. a humongous concentration of purchases also here in the 33026 area. Let's move down. We also have a lot of purchases happening in the 33027 area, just north of Miramar Parkway. We're going to move up, move around. Right here is a hot spot. Let's zoom in a little bit. We have access to the data. All of these sales happening in the area of 33312. Also available. We're going to hit that minus sign. We're going to move up a little bit towards Fort Lauderdale. And sometimes we might be able to see a lot of sales in the areas that we're not accustomed to. We do have some sales occurring also in the area of 33312, located right here as well. All right, just wanted to make sure that I showed you guys that you have access to a wealth of information. That way you can see exactly where we have these out-of-state buyers, and again, where they are purchasing. Now, what we could do, for example, we can take the information, again, a large concentration of sales happening in the 33319 area. What we're going to do with this information in a little bit is we're going to go directly into Remine. We're going to data mine and then try to find these areas where we may find the next batch of homeowners that might want to sell in this area using the sell score option in Remine. We're going to do that in just a moment. So again, how did we do this search locating these out-of-state buyers? We simply switched the status searching for closed sales. Again, this is just a sample of the data. We went back 440 days. We're looking at single-family homes, condos, co-ops, villas, and townhomes, and income-producing property as well. We first searched in Miami-Dade, and then we switched over to Broward, but you have the ability of course, selecting multiple counties at once. You can search Broward County, Miami-Dade, or any of the recorded counties located here, all at the same time. All right, so from there, we're going to switch. This was how we can search for those out-of-state buyers. We're going to go ahead and click on clear. Now, what we're going to go ahead and do is still search for closed. We're now going to search for those foreign nationals and find exactly where they are purchasing. We're going to go back a year to conduct this research. We're going to look at single family homes again, condo, co-op, villa, townhomes, and then multifamily units. We're going to move down. We're going to go to additional fields, click on add. We're going to enter that key word that's making everything so easy. We're going to enter buyer, and then that's going to allow us to click on buyer country of residence. This is how we can potentially find those foreign nationals and where they're purchasing. I'm going to click on add. That way we have access to the selected field, buyer country of residence, on the right side. All right, from there I'm going to click back. All right, we're going to move down. And then we're going to access the buyer country of residence. We're going to go ahead and select all of them. We're going to do Argentina, Australia, Brazil, Canada. We're going to move down. We're going to click on Chile, China, Colombia, France, Germany, India, Italy, Japan, Mexico, Russia, Spain, United Kingdom as well, and Venezuela further down on the page. All right, from there, you want to make sure that you searched based on county. The system is already telling me that it has met the cap where we're seeing 5,000 or more property being sold directly to foreign nationals in the MLS system. We're going to click on Miami-Dade, and I want to show you going back a year. We do have a total of 2,960 recorded sales in the Dade County area. If I click on Broward County, I can even show you all of the results for single family, condo, co-op, villa, townhomes, and multifamily income in one search. So if you want to do the research when it comes to Broward, sometimes less is more. I would just select, for example, single family, change the date range, maybe go back 180 days, see the data from 180 days. And then if you want to change it, looking at the other half of the year, you could put 181-365. from there. Again, Broward, from the data, it appears that Broward is becoming the #1 hub when it comes to international. I want to say that that has a lot to do with Lionel Messi. I'm sure there's other things at play, but I do want to show you that Broward, for my Miami folks out there, when it comes to international, you may want to consider Broward as one of your markets if you have not already. All right, so what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to go under closed. Let's go ahead and select 0-365. We're going to go back a year. Let's first look at Miami-Dade. We're going to go ahead and add single family, condo, co-op, villa, townhomes, multifamily income. We're underneath a 5,000 cap. When it comes to Miami-Dade, we can mess with the date range, instead go back 440. And then that's going to give us 3,651 matches available. From there, click on results. All right, when you go to your results, if you're following along with all these steps, it's going to take you directly into the previous grid that we built for out-of-state buyers. Now, as long as you saved your display right here, as long as you saved your display, you can switch to that out-of-state buyer grid later on. All right, however, what we're going to go ahead and do is now set up a different grid for these foreign nationals, for these out-of-country buyers. What we're going to go ahead and do is click on the settings bar located right here. That way we can click on reset to the system search defaults. All right, when you do so, it will reset your grid. It's going to take it right back to where it was when we first started. Again, want to make sure that I tell you one more time, under display, you will find the out-of-state buyer grid that you set up earlier. All right, from there, what we're going to go ahead and do is, again, build a grid that will give us more information when it comes to these foreign nationals. We're going to go over to address. We're going to add the city name where these properties were sold. We're going to type in city name. We're going to click on it, click on apply. Let's also add the zip code of where these properties were purchased. We're going to type in zip code, click on zip code, click on apply. All right, and then from there, we're going to go over to ML number, click, go down to insert column, and then under search, again, the keyword to all of these searches, again, I cannot stress this, is the word buyer. Now what we're going to do is click on buyer country of residence, click on apply, and then that's going to allow us to see exactly where they're coming from when they're purchasing these homes. I'm going to show you where we can filter by zip code. I'm going to click. What that will do is put all of these zip codes in order, like so. And then, for example, in the Hialeah area, it's going to give us some interesting insights. We do have a lot of homes in Hialeah being purchased. We do have a lot of homes in Hialeah being purchased from buyers from Japan, the United Kingdom, Spain, Colombia, Argentina, specifically in the zip codes of 33010, 33012. We can go to the second page to continue to conduct the research. On this page, we also have a buyer from China, Mexico, Argentina, Japan. A lot of Japanese purchasers at this time in the area of Hialeah, which is pretty cool. All right, we're going to keep going. We're going to go to page 3 as well. That's going to show us the zip code of 33013 in the area of Hialeah. Again, interesting information that it will provide you. You always want to be on top of your local market. Do want to make sure I share that information. All right. From there, if you do want to, again, save this information where you can export it directly into a CSV file, come over here where you see the manage display, give that a click, and then save that display. We're going to go ahead and put in something like international buyer grid. Once you type it out, click on save as a copy. That way you can export the information directly as a spreadsheet by clicking on the export button. All right, from there, we're going to go ahead and click on map. We're going to zoom in. We're going to hit the pen and paper. From there, we're going to click on the 3 stacked papers icon and then add the zip code boundary so we can do this research once again. Now you're going to notice a bat numbers. This will tell you if there's a concentration of sales in the area. So for example, Fontainebleau, this area, we do have a total of 44 closed transactions. Over here in Brickell in the area of 33129, concentration of 53. Humongous, of course, closer to the water. Tons of purchases over there in the area of 33129, total of 263. We're going to move around a little bit to continue to do this research. All right, now we do have a batch of sales happening in the area of 33175. Let's move down a little bit. Tons of purchases over here in the area of 33173. And here's an interesting pocket of purchases located here, just north of North Kendall Drive, located here in the area of 33173. All right, we're going to keep moving around. Let's move over to Kendall West. Tons and tons of purchases over here in the area of 33193. As a matter of fact, that is going to be the zip code that we're going to do research using Remind. We're going to move down a little bit. We're going to hit that minus button. That way we can see more of the map. All right, let's move down a little bit. And this again, guys, I want to make sure that you do see this information. You're going to notice that we do have a lot of purchases happening further the south that we go. We do have a lot of purchases happening in the Homestead area, going all the way from Homestead up to the Goulds area. We're going to zoom out a little bit so you guys can see larger pockets of purchases, but the more you zoom in, the more you're going to be able to see exactly where they're buying. So for example, right here, we have a ton of international purchases happening in the area of 33033. A huge pocket of sales happening over here, just south of Southeast 24th Street, located right here in the area of 33035. All right, so again, we're looking at Miami-Dade. We're going to click on criteria. We're going to switch it to Broward County. This time, let's go back 180 days. Looking at single family, condo, co-op, villa, townhomes. Let's just, for this sample of data, remove multifamily income. And for Broward, guys, when it comes to international buyers, we have so many results that we cannot even show them in one search. So what you want to do is tweak the date range a little bit. Let's bring it down to 120. All right, letting us see a total of 3,938 transactions in Broward County. Let's mess with the data a little bit. Let's bring that up a little bit. Let's go back 140 days. All right, just within the past 140 days in Broward County for single family, condo, co-op, villa, townhomes, we have a total of 4,550 closed transactions in the MLS for Broward County. We're going to go ahead and click on the map. Once again, we're going to get out of the Miami area. We're going to move up towards Broward. We're going to zoom in on the map. We're going to be patient because the system does have to quantify the results. All right, from there we have a humongous concentration of sales in the area of 33027. A pocket of sales happening further down south in that zip code. Let's move over a little bit. Tons of sales in 33025. All right, if we continue to move up, tons in Weston. Tons of sales in Weston for foreign buyers. A ton over here in the area of 33324. Tons of sales happening also in the zip code of 33312. All right, we're going to move up a little bit. We're going to move up a little bit. Tons of sales also happening as well in the area of 33139 as well. All right, again, Broward guys, if you, for my Miami agents out there that do specifically market towards foreign nationals, you may want to consider Broward County as your other market. I can't even get all of the results to show up going back a year. So you want to make sure that when you go into criteria, we're almost capping at 5,000 just going back 140 days. So what you would want to do is change your date range to, if you want to look at the other batch of listings, change it for to 141 dash, let's go ahead and put something like 290. That will show those additional days as well. Again, play with the numbers a little bit. Let's go back 141 days to 200 days. There you go. That will provide you a lot of additional listings to look at as well. All right. So again, these are going to be recorded sales that have been closed out in the multiple listing service. If you want to have an even broader understanding of these purchases, what I would recommend is using a service by the name of IMAP. All right, now you have access to IMAP in both the gateway. You have access to IMAP located right here, or by clicking IMAP at the very top of Matrix. All right, now we're going to do a very similar search to what we were doing in Matrix using IMAP. All right, now I am in the new IMAP. You do have access to the new IMAP in the regular IMAP by clicking on the beta button at the very top. I'm going to go ahead and use this new IMAP. However, I want to be very clear, the search filters that we're going to use are identical to the exact same fields that you can use in the old IMAP. All right, so we're going to stick to the tax search section, but I do want to mention that there is an MLS search option where you can search for expired listings that were not relisted. And then we also have an option to search for foreclosure properties where the homeowner is still in possession of the home. However, they are behind on their mortgage payments. All right, we're going to go over to tax search. We're going to go right here, and then we're going to tell the system that we want to first search for those foreign buyers that purchase property and are not occupying those units. So again, these fields can be repurposed and you can select them and then change them to what you want. So I'm going to go under owner name. I'm going to switch it to owner is US resident equal to, I'm going to say no. I'm going to repurpose the property address field and then change that to owner occupied, and then also select no as well. From there, we're going to go ahead and select the property use code. This will allow us to select the exact type of property that we want. I'm going to select single family and condominium as well. From there, we're going to go under sale date, and we're going to look at sold property going back a minimum of a year. Again, we're going to use owner is US resident equal to no. Owner occupied is no. Going back, meaning greater than, April 25th of last year, specifically looking at single family homes as well as condos in the county of Miami-Dade. From there, I'm going to click on start search. This will provide us with a total of 231 property. You can tweak your criteria by clicking on modify the criteria. All right, this time we're going to switch the area. We're going to look at Broward County. When you switch counties, it will remove the fields if you typed anything in. We're going to go ahead and do that search that we did earlier. Owner is US resident equal to. So we're going to select no. We're going to also select and change property address. We're going to go into owner occupied. We're going to select no. We're going to look under property use code, single family and condominium. Sale date, let's go back Here we go. And then click on Start Search. This will provide you with a total of 724 records that are available in this system. Again, I want to make sure that I mention that some of these results may be a little bit different than what we're looking at in the MLS. You have to keep in mind that some of these purchases, after they purchased it, they may have renovated it and maybe sold that property. What you would want to make sure that you do is go under Results Not Sorted and then select MLS Status Ascending. And then what that will do is show you any of those properties that are owned by foreign buyers. It will allow us to see all of the current ones that are listed now in the MLS. How we know that is this little green flag letting us know that they are on the market and in the MLS system. You can also change the results per page. I'm going to change the results per page, looking at 26 through 50, and we can easily see that a lot of these units, after they're purchased by these foreign nationals, they are put back on the market, as you can see. If you want, you can click on the property, and this will take you directly into the record of the property, which will show you the current owner. For example, this property is 428 Galt Ocean Drive, earners Paul Sorrentino, and we have access to the tax mailing address as well. We also have access to clicking on MLS listing information, which will allow us to see that the owner is now renting out this unit for $6,500, as you can see. All right, again, this was a quick overview of the options that are available when it comes to global within the IMAP platform. Now what we're going to do is use that zip code 33193, that area that we found when we researched in Matrix, where we saw a huge concentration of buyers purchasing. What this indicates to me is this is a hot area where we might see future homeowners sell their property within the next year. So what we're going to do is we're going to jump into Remind. I want to show you a fantastic option within Remind using predictive analytics. We're going to search filtering sell score and then find the next batch of homeowners that might sell their property within the next year. All right, we're going to go directly into the Miami Gateway. We're going to go quickly into the Remind system. You'll locate Remind in your gateway. It is a blue icon. It will say Remind in the button. All right, we're going to click on it and then go directly into the Remind system. Now, in order to do this, we will need to go into the search option within Remind. Now, we want to make sure we're not in the listing section. We want to make sure that we are in the properties filter that will allow us to search for what we want using the icons listed here. All right, what we're going to do is add the filter off market. Now, yours is going to look like this. It's not going to have the pin. Go ahead and click on the pin so that it turns blue so that we can use it as a search filter. From there, we're going to click on off market. We're going to click on off market. That way we can find future homeowners where we can get their potential cell phone numbers and email addresses. All right, from there, we're going to search within the zip code of 33193. We're going to find that under the available zip codes. We're going to click on apply filter. This is going to highlight that area, as you can see. All right, from there, we're going to go into the field building and look specifically at single family homes, condos, and townhomes, and then click on apply. All right, from there, what we're going to go ahead and do is select cell score and then select high and then click apply. According to the research that we have here within the single family home market, condos and townhomes, in the zip code of 33193, we have a total of 578 possible homeowners that might sell their property within the next year. What you want to do in order to get the information for these homeowners is you want to click on select all. You can select cart, and then in order to save the cart, we're going to need to name it. So we're going to go ahead and enter 3319 high sell score. Click on create 33193 high sell score, and then click on add 578 property to your cart. All right, and then from there, in order to export the information, you're going to need to access this cart by clicking carts. You're going to find the name of the cart here. In order to generate the spreadsheet where we can get the homeowner information, we're going to need to click the square in the top left corner, click on export, and then name the CSV file. I'm going to go ahead and put in the same thing we did for the search, 33193 high sell score. The columns that we want to export will of course be the property address information. We also want to make sure that we add the owner information as well. And then I would recommend clicking on make this my default. That way you will always have the owner information and property address information selected each time you do an export. All right, from there I'm going to click on export. And then when the download is done, you'll have a pop-up at the top letting you know that the download is ready, or you can click on the alerts icon, and from there you will find the file when it is ready for download. All right, the final thing that we're going to cover today is how to input an international listing into the MLS system using Matrix. Now, when it comes to international listings, make sure that you have the prerequisites in order to list in that country, including all of the documentation required to list in that country and or local province. Now, there's going to be some areas that you're not allowed to list within the MLS. You can find those countries in the MLS section at our homepage, miamirealtors.com. From there, scroll down, you'll see the section rules and regulations, and then click on MLS policies and procedures. The rule that I want to show you is located here under section 1.1.3, listings prohibited in countries where sanctions are in place. The U.S. Department of the Treasury has sanctions in the place against the following countries unless specified, authorized by Office of Foreign Assets Control, OFAC, pursuant to 31 CFR 501.801. This is going to be specifically Cuba, Crimea region of Ukraine, Venezuela, North Korea, Iran, and Syria. Listings in the Miami MLS in countries where the U.S. Department of Treasury has issued sanctions are not permitted. This list is current as of the date the MLS rules were most recently adopted, and list is subject to change with or without prior notice by the U.S. Department of Treasury. Right from there, I am going to show you how you can input an international listing into the MLS. In order to do so, click the Add Edit button at the top of Matrix. From there, select Add New under Listings, and then select the type of property that you want to list. This example is going to be a single-family manufactured home. Instead of entering the county information, because this is an international property, you're going to skip this, go right here where you see out of area or no tax folio. All right, from there, you're going to go into this section, location information, and you first want to visit the field county, change that to outside of Florida. From there, go to the field area and then select 5990. Go down to the bottom, click on validate, and then that will open up the global regional area option. There, input the street number, street name, folio number if applicable for the property, the legal description, the zoning information, parcel, and subdivision. Now, because it is an international property, it's likely not going to find it using Google Maps. What you may have to do is you may have to click on Set Lat Long manually. From there, use the map and select where the property is located. For this example, we're going to move down south and enter a listing in Medellin. All right, once you place it on the map, click on Done. From there, see the section Global Regional Area, select the global region. In this example, it's going to be in South America. We can select the country. We can also select if there's a country region, and then we can also enter the city under country city. Make sure to read the global acknowledgement located right here. select yes or no, and then continue to build the listing from there. All right, so that does sum up today's class, going over the options when it comes to global research within the MLS system. I do want to repeat, we did go into the MLS looking at those out-of-state buyers as well as those foreign nationals. I did want to make sure that you showed you that you can research this information using Matrix, and also using the IMAP platform, kind of reverse engineered the data and looked at the future homeowners in these areas that might sell their homes within the next year using the Remind system. I hope you found this information useful and helpful. You can find more classes like this by going to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/miamitrainers, and of course taking a course with us by going to miamirealtors.com/calendar.